And this is bittersweet because Davis is a legend around here, serving in the Weather Center for 44 years, working hard to keep people safe and looking at each and every one of those fishing photos that you, our viewers, send in. Thanks for coming back in with us, Davis.
I'm so glad to be here.
The countdown is on. It's about 48 hours away now. What are your real emotions going on in your mind? Because change can be difficult.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to have to adjust to this, you know, because I'm sort of thought it was no big deal for a while, right? Oh boy, I'll have time to finally finish mowing the lawn completely and get the, you know, all the yard work done, you know. But that might take 2 days, and then what do you do, right? But so yeah, I'm sort of thinking about it every day. Like on Saturday when I'm going to work, I say, what would I be doing today if I wasn't going to work right now? Think about that. So yeah, it'll be an adjustment, but I think I'm gonna have enough to do. Don't worry, I'll have plenty to do.
Plenty of fishing too.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna finally get some fishing in. And Jimmy Holt told me years ago, the famous Jimmy Holt, he said that people think I'm fishing all the time. They think I'm out fishing because he does the outdoor show, right? And you know, he said, in reality, I hardly ever get to go fishing. What little bit I do, they shoot this segment, and he said, I'm too busy. He's running a business. He was a city councilman, you know, and I'm out fishing all the time. Well, I'm not, you know, and now I will be.
Yes, you will. And in the meantime, you have been honored here in Middle Tennessee. Let's start with the Wilson County Commission, which I love to hear you speak, and your daughter was there with you. What was that like?
Yeah, my wife and daughter came there with me, and it was a real honor. My daughter actually got to go there when she was valedictorian at Mount Juliet years ago. I'd forgotten about that, and she reminded me. But anyway, that was such a big honor there to be asked to go there because, you know, Wilson County is my home. And, you know, Lisa Patton, who I worked with for 25 years, you know, that was her home, is still her home, and her whole family's home. So it's meant a lot to me, and to get asked to do that was really a big deal.
Yeah.
You deserve it, Davis. You're also served, speaking of Wilson County, as the Grand Marshal at my favorite Wilson County Tennessee State Fair this week. You got to ride along in the convertible with your wife and daughter. What was that honor like for you?
It was a lot of fun because, you know, we're going through the crowd and everybody yells, "Hey, Davis, you know, we're going to miss you." And, you know, and my wife and daughter were impressed that everybody knew my name. You know, they knew that they would. And I said, well, it's written on the side of the car. So, well, it's not written on the other side. And they're all yelling from that side too. And it was just sort of really very flattering, you know, and to have, you know, people who are politicians and famous people, you know, come up to you and talk to you and everything. That was sort of a thrill there. But great fair, first of all. If, you know, we've been going to it for years. Now it's combined with the Tennessee State Fair. It's even bigger. And then to get asked to do that, you know, the governor was there. It's a lot.
Amazing.
Okay, I love seeing you in this convertible, but I loved seeing you in that giant shopping cart where your legs are hanging out. I mean, 44 years, so many memories. I heard one of the craziest live shots that you ever did was in the 90s at Summer Lights.
Yes.
Okay, please tell that story.
Okay, well, Stephanie knows Summer Lights.
Yes.
It was a big downtown festival that went all, what streets it was on?
Oh, goodness. Was it around Church?
Yeah, I think so. And it might have moved a little bit at times, but I mean, it went on all weekend long, and it was really big. Okay, and we'd all go live down there. Well, I happened to be doing a Saturday night live shot, or it was either Friday or Saturday. And people were a little bit lit, shall we say, at that point, right? And they're all friendly, but I'm sitting here literally doing the weather. We had a monitor trying to look at the weather maps and everything. And all these people, they were very friendly. Nobody was mean, but oh man, they were just all over me and everything. And I think the news director said, we're not doing any more live shots at night at 10 o'clock anymore from Summer Lights after that one. But it was fun.
Yeah, they had that ride called Kick Booty. I don't know if you remember, you pulled the swing up and then you actually kicked it. Those don't exist anymore, but that was a fun time back in the day. I want to bring up something because so much has happened over the past 44 years here, and I know you had your battle with cancer. You've been in remission now since 2011, but you stuck around here at News 2 throughout that, and I know not too long ago you actually went viral, and it just shows how much the community loves you because it was an old post that came popping back up and had everyone concerned about you, and I'm sure folks out there want to know how you're doing now.
I'm doing well. You know, the one big thing that they did, multiple myeloma is what it is, which is a blood cell cancer related similar to leukemia and lymphoma. Never see the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's literature. It'll mention that in the paragraph on the front page. Okay, and so anyway, it's not quote unquote curable, but it's one of the few that they've actually gotten to where they can manage it. And they've got like 2 or 3 different antibody drugs that have been developed since I was diagnosed. And they told me then, so we're gonna do this, 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 and this. But if and when you need to come back to us, we're not going to do that anymore because we got this new thing that'll be approved this summer. Got another thing they're working on, and now they got like 3 different things. And so they said that they could manage this disease. I might have to have work done one day, but it would be something that they could manage, and that one day when I finally die, it will not be from this. Be from old age or whatever. They tease me if they don't lose weight, it might be a stroke or a heart attack. Which probably I do need to do. So that was good news. And yeah, the thing was so I go every 3 months to get checked. The numbers are they can read the numbers now. For a long time, you couldn't even read them. But like I said, they haven't. The guy told me, my doctor now tells me that, if it stays where it is, we're not going to do anything. The rest of your life. A lot of people, it does stay, they say it just simmers and doesn't ever come back. But if it does, they've got these antibodies that they say they can treat me and keep me going for.
There are literally so many memories. What are you most appreciative of in your time here at WKRN?
Here at WKRN, the last 7 or 8 years. Elbert Tucker is our news director, okay? And as you know, if you watch News 2, you know that I've taken on a lot of roles besides doing weather. And as they say, I'm a serious meteorologist. I really am serious about that. But, Elbert came up with all these ideas, for Davis to do. He liked seeing me go out and about in the community, liked seeing me go live. He's the one that came up with the word funtacular. First, we did fall funtacular, and I went to all the places that would have hay rides and corn mazes and pumpkins and everything in the fall, and lots of kids on field trips and having a good time. And then he would just keep coming up with more and more ideas. We have fishing funtacular, and then we've done holidays and going out to, to the Christmas lights, dancing lights at Christmas and things like that. And he just comes up with one after another. And then while we're doing the stories for like all our on tour stories, for like, Davidson County on tour, he'd find one that fits me, okay? And we did Rice's Country Ham most recently in Mount Juliet. And that was, I think that fit me too. And then he sends me out any place like Cheatham Dam, because it's a fishing type or it's a river story, and things like that in the state parks. So he finds things that fit me, and I've been busier and worked much harder than I've ever worked in the last 7 or 8 years, but I've done more fun things and had more fun and felt more appreciated by management more than I've been pretty much most of my career.
Well, you yourself are funtacular.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, everyone. Davis Nolan is retiring this Friday, but we aren't done with him just yet.